Welcome to the Mobile Central. What do we have here is a very popular series of phones from Redmi, and this is the latest entry, the Redmi Note 9, which just launched in the UAE this week. Let us start with the unboxing. So let's start to unbox, and right off the bat you get this some sort of packaging here. I'm sure this has some case and stuff. Yes, looks like a case. Okay, so let me check the tool here and let's see what's inside this. Yeah, you have some manuals and stuff, some literature which nobody cares about. A clear case. You have a clear case, which is good, I think. Anyway, let's look at the phone now. This is the phone. You get some branding up top here. Yeah, you guys can see now. Yeah, 48 megapixel AI quad camera, 5020 milliamp hour battery, 6.53 inch full HD display with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and high performance Helio G85 processor. Well, this is something that I am really interested in testing, and I will talk about this in this video. Let's hold on for that. Let's see what else do we get. Okay, we have a piece of paper again, a charger and a cable. That's pretty much it. You don't get anything else. Okay, let's look at the phone now. Okay, this is the green color that we got. All right, let's take this label off. Let's leave it here. Okay, so this is the green color that I got. Color looks pretty nice, and right off the bat, phone's slightly on the heavier side, but I think that's okay. It's not very heavy, but yeah, because of the 5000 milliamp hour battery, I think the weight is pretty much okay. Let's check it out. In the past, all Redmi Note 9 series phones have been very successful and have been loved by a lot of people. This time too, they show the same promise. As they say, the legend continues. Xiaomi announced two Redmi Note 9 series phones here in the UAE. The Redmi Note 9 that we have here, and there is a Redmi Note 9 Pro. So let us deep dive and understand the Xiaomi's blueprint for Redmi Note 9. For an entry-level phone to be successful, it needs to be priced low and yet provide a great experience. Xiaomi achieves that beautifully with this phone, as this is priced really well at around just 650 dirhams, starting price for a 3GB to 64GB variant, and you can bump up the specs for a 4GB to 128 for 700 dirhams around. That is approximately just $200 US. You get a very good package for this price range. A 1080p 6.5 inch LCD display, edge-to-edge display designed with a hole punch 13 megapixel selfie camera, a quad camera setup at the back, dual SIM with a dedicated micro SD slot, a huge 5020 milliamp hour battery, a Type-C charger, and a Mediatek Helio G85 processor. This we will talk about in a minute. At first impression, like almost every other phone these days, overall footprint of this device feels on the larger side and feels a bit thick and heavy thanks to the big 5000 milliamp hour battery it employs, which helps you get a great battery life and easily goes into the second day without any issues. So I guess you will be happy with its battery life. Otherwise, the design language is really good and feels very nice in the hand. The back is plain single color slab, unlike the patterned backs we see from its competitors Realme. The plastic back curves from both sides to let you have a comfortable grip. The fingerprint sensor is at the back and not embedded inside the display. That is okay at this price range, and it is also aesthetically well hidden under the camera design. Fingerprint sensor feels pretty fast and works well at almost all times. But I wish it had some thicker ridges instead of sitting so flush with back that makes it difficult to locate. At the front, you have a 1080p LCD display, which is quite sharp and crisp and projects colors pretty well. So your content consumption needs will be met very nicely with this phone. Sunlight legibility of the display is also decent and would not leave you with any complaints. Though it has one single bottom firing speaker, but it gives you a 3.5mm jack for you to plug in your earphones to enhance your overall audio experience. The display houses a 13 megapixel selfie camera which can record video in 1080p variety and go as high as 30 frames per second. Now it's really good to see how quickly these punch hole selfie cameras have started to show up on devices that are priced so low. This makes the offering even more attractive by putting it right next to the flagship category designs that we have. And when you talk about the quad camera setup at the back, you will see it houses 4 different cameras, and that itself makes it a wonderful budget offering. You get a 48 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor to get those bokeh shots for your portraits. Overall picture quality is really good from this versatile camera setup. Pictures come out decent whether you look at colors or details. Daylight imagery will keep you happy for sure. With its output in this category of these devices, the picture quality, I really don't have anything to complain. The large 48 megapixel sensor is decent enough to get you sufficient amount of detail in your pictures and focuses really well on the subjects. Macro mode adds a very good variety to your picture taking abilities through your smartphone, and this allows you to get some interesting shots. Especially the low light pictures too are nothing less than brilliant from a smartphone in this segment. And it left me impressed by the way it captured details and controlled the exposure and noise. Overall, it's a really good camera, and I can say that in this price range, the camera package is worth every penny you spend on this phone. Now, since it is a lower mid-range phone, it needs to get flexibility right, and it does good on that by offering a dual SIM slot with a dedicated micro SD card in case you want to expand on the memory it can hold. The major with this phone is its Mediatek processor. Xiaomi has always employed the Snapdragon chipsets when it comes to the Redmi Note series phones, but this time around you get a Helio G85 processor. Well, overall in day-to-day tasks it is okay. The phone runs on Android 10 with MIUI 11 on top. Performance-wise, whether it is scrolling through the UI or surfing through the web or social media or watching online content, you will constantly feel that it lacks some power. Under the hood, I wish it had something better. And things get worse when it comes to gaming. The gaming performance is not good and kind of makes games really lag, especially PUBG. Small casual games are okay, but PUBG didn't work very well on this phone. Perhaps it has to do with optimization of PUBG with this Mediatek processor. I hope Xiaomi fixes it in the upcoming updates. Besides that, it feels pretty good to get a phone like this kind of package and a great battery life in this price range. So if you need a phone at a budget that lasts you almost 2 days of moderate use and feels good in the hand while taking decent pictures, you can give Redmi Note 9 a chance. But if you are a slightly power user, then I would recommend going for the Redmi Note 9 Pro instead. Overall, like its predecessors, in the past, Redmi Note 9 shows a great promise for most use cases. But if you need more from your smartphone, look at the Redmi Note 9 Pro. That's about it. Thank you for watching, guys. Cheers.